Alright, so in this video, we're going to go over exactly how you can launch a call funnel. So a funnel where you want to book sales calls on Meta Ads, right? So we're going to go over literally every single button you need to click in the Meta Ads Manager to launch a call funnel. That simple. Let's get straight into it. All right, so you're in the Meta Ads Manager. What do you need to do first? You need to create a campaign, right? So you're going to go and click on create, and you're going to choose the leads campaign objective. You can leave this as auction, and then you can press continue. Let's wait for it to load. All right, and now you can here name your campaign, right? So normally we do something along the lines of we name what offer it is. So offer, let's say it's a build and release offer. So we'll say or 90-day sprint. I'll include the date as well, which is 27th of April 2026. And then we'll launch what the objective is. So it's schedule. That's what we're going to optimize around. And then I also include whether it's CBO or ABO. So in this case, we'll do ABO, right? So we'll optimize around the ad set. So campaign objective leads, you can leave that alone. All of this stuff, you can just leave that alone, right? And so here for campaign budget versus ad set budget, the difference is essentially if you choose campaign budget, then you let Meta choose amongst the ad sets you have in the campaign, how it allocates the budget. Whereas if you choose ad set budget, then you get to choose how much budget goes towards each individual ad set in the campaign, right? So simply put, if you want to have more control and you're spending at least $300 to $500 per day, then I'd recommend ABO, which is ad set budget optimization. If you're spending less than $500 a day, less than $300 a day, and you're launching brand new campaigns and you've never really launched an ad campaign before in your account, then I'd recommend you just go CBO, right? So in this case, we'll just do ABO, and we want to turn this off because we want control over how much budget is being spent. None of this you have to worry about. We can just leave this all alone, right? So the next step, what do we need to do? We need to go and create the, press next and create the ad set. So we have the ad set and we can just name the ad set whatever we want to. So normally we have different ad sets based on what kind of targeting option we have. So in one ad set, we might use broad targeting. In another ad set, we'll have the exact same ads in it, but we'll just choose interest stack targeting or lookalike targeting, right? So in this case, let's call it broad, right, with this ad set. And you're going to be asked for the conversion location. You're going to go and choose single, and then you're going to choose website. And performance goal, maximize number of conversions. The dataset, you can just choose the pixel, right? So you should have a pixel. You should have added the pixel to your website. You should have added the schedule event to the confirmation page, which people are sent to after they book a call. And we're just going to choose this pixel here. And the conversion event we're going to optimize around is schedule, right? Because you can see we're optimized around schedule right there. So cost per result goal, you don't have to use that. If during times of, let's say, holidays or when the CPMs are going to go up considerably, then you can add a cost per result goal, where it's just like what the goal is for setting that you want to book a call for, right? So if you're, after you've done the funnel maths, if you want to book a call for $700 on the high end, maybe $200, $150, you can add that here as a cost per result goal. And Meta will try to optimize around that, and it won't really spend budget unless it thinks it can achieve that cost per result goal. But most of the time, we just leave it empty. All right. So our attribution model, we can leave it as standard. Dynamic creative, we can leave that off. Daily budget for this, we can put it at, let's say on an ABO, at least £150 a day, $150 a day. So you can leave it there. Start date doesn't really matter. End date, we'll just leave it all alone. Audience, all right. So because this is broad targeting, we're just going to leave all of this alone. The only one which we normally add is minimum age. Now, if you're selling, an offer to established business owners, normally you put like 20 to 21 and up, because those people are more likely to be established business owners. But honestly, if we're advertising to like agencies or something like that, then we might just leave it 18, right? It's a lot of agency owners in the ages of 18 to 21. Whereas if we're running like an accounting offer, then we might put it to like 23, 24. So it just depends on that. This is the only one we'd really add. You can leave all of this alone for broad targeting. Now we'll go down to ad transparency, leave all of that alone. For placements, so we're going to press show more settings. And what you need to do here is you need to press on platforms and actively toggle off audience network, threads, and messenger. Because we only want to show ads on Facebook and Instagram, right? These platforms are kind of just useless for the most part. And then we're going to turn this off because essentially you've told Meta you don't want to advertise on audience network, threads, and messenger, right? Well, what Meta is going to do is it's going to still allocate maybe 5% of your budget to these different platforms for no discernible reason, unless you toggle this off. So you got to toggle it off, and that's this section completely done. You don't have to do anything else there. You can leave all of this alone. So now we have to go ahead and actually create the ads inside the ad set, right? We have the campaign that's good to go. We have the ad set that's good to go. We've told Meta what we're optimizing around, which is schedule. We've told Meta what the performance goal is, where the conversion location is. We've told Meta how much money we're willing to spend per day on the ad, so what the ad set budget is as well. So let's go to the actual ad itself. And oftentimes we just name this ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, right? So we'll just call this ad 1. We are not running partnership ads. A partnership ad is when, let's say I am, Nike, and there is someone else's brand I want to run ads from. So not my own brand, but someone else's brand. Then I can do a partnership ad with them, and it runs the ad from their page, not my page. Although I'm the one paying for the ad spend. So identity, just choose your Facebook page and your Instagram profile. Pretty simple. And let's go into ad set setup. So create ad, choose manual upload, choose single image or video. We want to turn this off. Essentially what this option is when you scroll on Instagram Reels, you might see that sometimes it shows you like 4 ads at the same time, right? And if you turn this off, it will never show your ads within those 4. And if you turn it on, it might show you ad within those 4. So we just want to turn this off. It's kind of pointless. We don't want an ad to be shown in those placements. Destination, just go and paste the website URL of where you want people who click on the ad to go. Pretty simple. Browser add-ons, make sure this is none, and you can leave both of these unticked. Now we go down to the actual ad creative itself, right? So this is important. Now, if you're on an image or video ad, it's going to be the same process, but let's say we run a video ad here. And all right, so I'm just going to drag a ad inside of here. Let's go back to the other page. We're going to drag an ad in here, and we're going to drop it. And we are going to wait for it to upload. All right, so this ad is uploaded. Now all you're going to do is choose the video ad, and we're going to go on next, and we can make sure that all of this is off, right? So make sure site links is off. Make sure all of this is just toggled off, right? You don't want any of it to be turned on. You press next, and then what we normally do here is we have 5 different versions of the primary text. We have 3 different headlines and just 1 different description. So normally for the primary text, we have 2 long versions of it, 2 medium versions of it, medium length versions of it, and 1 short version of it. And for the headline, we normally have 3 to 5 variations of that as well. Then just like 1 to 3 descriptions. So once you've added all of those, let's just put some examples here. And for the call to action, we nearly always just do learn more. So let's find learn more. And then we just click next, right? Now, importantly, you want to turn all of this stuff off. You want to make sure all of it is, nearly every single one has to be turned off, because none of it's going to help you, right? Meta just adds these AI enhancements on, and all they're going to do is reduce the performance of your ad, and they'll turn it on again and again and again. Every time you duplicate out the ad set, so you always have to just check and make sure these are all turned off. You click done, and brilliant. All right, so it is now added as the actual ad. You can see the different placements here. And let's go to format display options. Don't have to do anything there. Primary text, when you add the variations, they'll all show up here. Optimize text per person. You can leave this enabled or disabled. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You can just leave it disabled if you want to be certain. And then in terms of the call to action, that's also good. And then as you'll see, we turned off all the creative enhancements, but Meta went ahead and turned on one of them either way, right? So you have to go ahead and press edit and then turn this off and then go down. And you can leave this on in some cases, but I normally just turn those off and also turn this off. The only ones I ever potentially leave on are reveal details over time and relevant comments. So those are the ones I only potentially leave on, but honestly, most of the time we just turn all of them off, right? So now you press save, and we've got to make sure that all of these are turned off. Creative testing, you can leave that alone. Tracking, you can leave that alone. The URL parameters, so if you're using a ad tracking platform like Hyros, this is where you would add the URL parameters, and it essentially means that you can track which individual came from which ad, right? So natively in Meta's tracking, you're not going to be able to find out which actual ad did each person come from. Like you can't find out if someone booked a call with a certain email, you can't attribute that email back to which ad they came from, right? With an ad tracking platform like Hyros, you can do that. So Hyros is around $450, $460 a month. And if you're spending anywhere over like $300 a day, I definitely recommend getting it, because it's just going to improve the tracking that you have, and you can make better decisions based on which ads are actually going to give you the most qualified leads. All right, so let's move on. This is pretty much everything, right? Now, all we do is we normally quick duplicate out every single, turn this off, and quick duplicate out every single ad, and then add the next ad, right? So let's do that quickly. We'll go ahead, boom, change this, scroll down, change, remove the media, add video, And let's say we'll just choose this one, right? It's a different one. And then let's go to creative setup. Let's go to make sure all of this is turned off. Press next. We'll make sure all of this is added. Press next. Make sure all of these are turned off again. Let's make sure it's turned off. Okay, apparently, I don't know why that happened. Let's go next, next, next. Turn this off, turn this off, turn this off, done. And you will actually see here that if we scroll down, these are turned on again, right? So we turned it off in this one, we duplicated it, but then they turned it back on. So now you have to go press edit again and turn these off again. So I just wanted to demonstrate to you that you have to do that. And this is just the simplest way to do it, right? You can, Meta now I think has the ability to, you can upload multiple creatives at the same time, but this is just the simplest, easiest way to do it. And you can ensure that you're not going to have any of the creative enhancements turned on. And once you've gone ahead and built out this ad set, if you want to create a new ad set with a different targeting, you can just press quick duplicate, turn on all of this stuff, turn off all of that stuff, and then you can have another ad set, and you can call this IntraStack. And what you can do here, leave all of this alone, leave all of this alone, leave all of that alone as well, leave all of this alone. You want to leave an Advantage plus on when you use IntraStack, so Meta has a bit more control over who it wants to show it to. And what you're going to go is go all the way down here. Now, if I was turning this ad on, I would choose the US as a location as well, since we advertise to the US too. It's our predominant market. And if we choose audience, then we can go on, so suggestions, detailed targeting, and then we can just add a bunch of demographics related to our offer, right? So let's say we are running a paid ads offer to B2B companies, right? I might want to add business owners, business and finance. Let's add some more. Entrepreneurship, small business owners, small business and finance. And I'll just keep adding these. And as you can see, there's no real methodical approach to this, right? It's just kind of think about what are some things which are similar to the audience I'm targeting and just layer those on. Layer on like 15, 20 of them, and just make sure that once you've done it, that this is around 100 million people. It's kind of what I aim for, 100 to 115 million people, ideally. At least, 80 million. Ideally, again, it can be smaller than that. And then once you've done this, you just go ahead and, that ad set is now done because all of the ads are already moved into it, right? So let's say you finish doing this, the ad set is now ready to launch, everything is ready to go. You just press preview to publish, and then you can press publish, and everything goes live. It's honestly that simple. If it's the first time you're launching something, even if you've launched ads before, it'll take a bit of time for Meta to start spending on it. And once everything is reviewed and approved and it starts spending, there you go, you've launched your ads and everything will be working. For the first 24 hours, I just recommend monitoring things quite closely, making sure everything is published, making sure none of the ads have been essentially removed or not approved by Meta, because sometimes it does that. You want to just re-upload them with a different metadata, so those ads actually start running. But that's the entire process on how to actually create and launch an ad campaign to get you qualified sales calls onto your calendar. If you're at all interested on getting my help to do that, there's a link down below to our website, but hopefully this is helpful.